Syracuse University's sensational supplemental essay prompt. That is the topic of today's video. My name is Craig Meister. I'm a college admissions coach. You can learn more about me and how you can work with me one-on-one throughout the entire college admissions process on my website, which is collegemeister.com. And if you're interested in learning about whether or not you are or your student is on track for selective college admission in the United States of America, visit areyouontracktogetin.com. Again, that's areyouontracktogetin.com, at which you will complete a free 3-minute assessment. Your results will be emailed to you right away, and they will help you clarify whether or not you are or your student is on track for selective college admission in the United States of America. Syracuse University used to be mentioned in the same breath as institutions such as University of Miami in Coral Gables and Boston University up in Boston, Massachusetts. These days, it's mentioned more in the same breath with University of Pittsburgh and University of Delaware. And this brings us to what I would call Syracuse University's sensational supplemental essay prompt for first-year applicants. You have a 250-word limit when responding to this prompt. And they do note before the prompt even starts to please be sure to respond to both parts of the following question. I'd make the argument that there are actually 3 parts to the following prompt, but here we go. Syracuse University is a place that seeks to be welcoming to all and has been since our founding. Explain why you are interested in Syracuse University and describe a personal experience in which you persevered through adversity, rejected discrimination, learned a lesson, or were inspired by the courageous actions of others, and how you will apply what you learned to our community in a positive way. And you have 250 words to respond to that prompt. Just so you know, that prompt is 68 words on its own, and you only have 250 words with which to respond. Again, I think there are 3 distinct things happening in that prompt. Number 1, they want you to explain why you're interested in Syracuse University. Many other schools ask a similar question and give you 250 words just to respond to that idea. Why do you want to go to our university? But then Syracuse University layers on top of that they want you to also shoehorn in description of a personal experience in which you persevered through adversity, rejected discrimination, learned a lesson, or were inspired by the courageous actions of others. But then on top of that, they need you to also show how you will apply what you learned in that incident or event or experience to our community in a positive way, no less. So look at this. This is over the top, Syracuse. I am trying to be nice. But again, the word sensational can go either way, and I picked that purposely. This is hard. And I would go so far as to say that it's hard on purpose. I wonder if Syracuse University even wants a coherent essay. I wonder if they actually just want you to throw out some ideas here, and they'll pick the idea that they want to pick on to say, we need to accept this student. But there is no way in the world a student can show and tell a cohesive, coherent, mature, well-written essay that covers all of those topics in 250 words. Something is going to get left on the cutting room floor, or there's going to be some sort of mashup story where something is overemphasized, underemphasized, or sort of left to be sort of concluded upon by the reader, because how can you really show and tell that complex of a story in 250 words? You can't. I would believe they were serious more at Syracuse of really wanting a cohesive, well-developed essay regarding all of those elements if they gave you 750 words or even maybe 500 words, but they give you 250 words. So this is what I would call a wild goose chase. Now, with that said, I will say this. You still want to try, if at all possible, to have a thesis, how you can have a coherent thesis, giving the reader a sense of where you're going with this, with so many different things you need to accomplish, is going to be hard. But you generally want to have a thesis. I would primarily focus my thesis, knowing me and knowing my value system, on why I'm interested in Syracuse. But you're probably going to have to marry that with showing yourself positively impacting Syracuse, or giving them a hint of how you're going to sort of work toward that by the end in the thesis as well. Or I don't know how you put into a thesis the sort of, I really want to go to Syracuse to study business and work through the time I got racially discriminated against. How do you say that in a thesis sentence? I mean, that is really loaded. So I still say you do want to try to have a thesis to sort of somehow conceptualize both where you're going, but also give the reader a sense of where they're going to be going in this essay. But then right after the thesis sentence, you got to jump right into 2 or 3 sentences showing what is most attracting you to Syracuse, what most resonates with you at Syracuse. Then you need to say, oh, and by the way, there was this time I learned a lesson, or there was this time something bad happened to me and I had to overcome it. I mean, I guess the best situation or scenario would be that you really want to study business, or you really want to study whatever you want to study as a result of something bad happening to you. Then it's easier, right? As opposed to them being 2 distinct things. And for most people, it's going to be 2 distinct things. I want to go to Syracuse because of X, Y, and Z. And the time I learned a lesson, I learned A, B, and C. They're distinct usually. But I guess if you can pick a time in which something racially charged, or gender-based discrimination charged, or some other adversity happened to you, or that you witnessed, inspired you to study what you're about to study, then I guess you're in better luck than most people. But then on top of that, by the end, you're going to have to somehow show how you're going to apply what you learned in the time that adversity happened in a positive. I don't know how you do this. I don't know how you do this. In 250 words. I don't honestly know how you do it. And so that is why I say this is not possible. This is not possible to do in a way that you would normally associate with a well-developed, thoughtful, and wrapped up in a nice little bow short answer response. It's 250 words. How do you cover all that? You can't. So you're going to probably leave something on the cutting room floor and have to sort of hit it as a hit and run sort of, because you can't cover all 3 of those things you just can't. You have 250 words. So I wish you the best, I guess, is the moral of the story. I wish you the best. Now, with all that said, I mean, you still want to try to write coherently in the English language, but just know you're probably not going to balance this out right, because who could? Who could? I'm twice your age and I can't get it through my head how to do this. So all the best. When you finish your Common App and you want to know if it's as strong as possible, and whether or not in its current condition your chances of admission are impressive, inconclusive, or inadequate, you want my pre-read. Getting my pre-read now means having me review your entire application, just like an admissions officer or admissions committee will review it later, and receiving by email, no later than the time you reserve, a comprehensive report highlighting what's working and what's not on your full Common App and one Common App supplement. If you've yet to submit your Common App, my pre-read may motivate you to make adjustments to it before your deadline. If you've already submitted your Common App to Syracuse University, my pre-read will prepare you for what I deem to be your likely admissions outcome at Syracuse University. And all we can do otherwise is pray that by the time maybe in the future you apply to Syracuse, they will have changed their supplemental essay prompt. If you'd like to purchase my pre-read, go to mypreread.com. Again, that's mypreread.com. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. If you'd like to work with me one-on-one throughout the entire college admissions process, go to my website, which is collegemeister.com. Until next time, stay safe, stay well, and most importantly, stay stress-free throughout the entire college admissions process.